Hi guys. We have some intensity going on this weekend, especially Friday into Saturday. We've got some interesting planetary alignments going on, specifically in regards to Mars, Pluto, some scorpionic energy coming through. Also, the sun as the midpoint between both Mars and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. There could definitely be some power struggles going on this weekend, clashes of wills, or just kind of like this, internalized feeling like we're picking up on some pending transformation, or that we need to do something to make some type of change. There is an energy driving change and transformation that is really gonna take a strong hold of us collectively, sort of, as we move through the month of January. And although we are really easing into things energetically this week and things are kind of quiet on the transit front, there is this building level of intensity and sort of like this psychic knowing that something's about to happen, and we might be picking up on that as the energy comes through this weekend with the placement of these planets. We also still have a Mercury-Neptune square going on. I'm still saying, you guys, even though we have Mercury direct, if you don't need to choose to, decide to invest, to commit right now, I would still hold off a little bit. Things are still, there's still a distortion going on in the informational field generally. And we also have Chiron, Uranus, and Jupiter energy present and also growing, pending over the coming days as we move through the weekend. Lots to talk about, even though we do have a rather quiet, energetic weekend. Let's get into it, you guys. All this energy, big month. Let's see how our weekend is coming together for us and what things might look like as we move through this first week of January. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Friday, January 5th, 2024. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the weekend, where we are narrating the shift of the ages. In this video, we're talking about the energy, the astrology for January 5th through January 7th, bringing our first week in the new year to a close. What do we have going on out there? Let's get into it. As I've been saying, this first week of January has sort of been like the in-breath, sort of like a pause, okay? A kind of quiet. This is a week where we kind of want to not exert ourselves too much if we don't have to, maybe be a little bit more self-contained. We are coming out of some very strong Jupiterian energy. We may have found that we overdid it a little bit over the holiday season in the month of December, and now we just kind of feel like we need to, maybe cut off some of the excess and get back on task somehow. This is a really good weekend to get organized. And as we'll talk about in this report, the work that we're doing, what we're focused on, the efforts to streamline things or to make corrections or to just make things better generally in various areas of our lives, likely to be successful, likely to end up being something that we are glad that we did, beneficial to us somehow, especially, as we're even moving into this very next week of January. So we're setting ourselves up for success, you guys, if we are using the energy, of this first week and this weekend to be productive somehow, okay? Hard work is going to pay off, and that is because now that we have Mars in the sign of Capricorn, he is building into a beautiful trine, earth sign trine with Jupiter, the planet of success, blessings, good fortune, expansion, right, in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is the sign of the builder. Capricorn is about, structures and foundations. So what we're building, what we're working on, the goals that we're moving towards, the effort that we're putting towards those goals, the work that we're putting into moving ourselves forward or creating some structure for ourselves or building, projects, whatever, right now, likely to be abundant or successful or beneficial or positive, or just again, set us up for success somehow moving throughout the rest of the course of this month. And this Mars Jupiter trine, this is also going to be something we're talking about, of course, over the coming days. This is going to expand energy levels. This is going to really make us feel probably very alive over the coming days. So if you are feeling sort of, again, more maybe withdrawn, more introverted, hermit mode is really the vibe this weekend. That's definitely going to shift as we move through the energy of next week, but we should use this time to focus, concentrate, and just get our ducks in a row. Because again, if you guys watched my January report, I was saying, and the transits and the patterns that are presenting themselves are indicating that the end of this month could get a little bit wild. We could feel ourselves sort of spinning out of control, very electrified environment, kind of, you know, some uncertainty, maybe a bit of lack of stability. So, and just maybe some things happening very unexpectedly that have us like kind of whipped up. Okay, so we want to pace ourselves as we move into this month. But again, you know, hard work into something, putting our effort into something productive, likely to pay off. But the real story, you know, I feel like this weekend is kind of happening on a deeper emotional level. We do have a lot of this Capricornian energy going on with the Sun in Capricorn, Mars in Capricorn, both of these planets having sort of to do with like our focus and our energy levels and, you know, where energy is generally geared and stuff like that. And then we also have Pluto right now at the very last degree of Capricorn, ticking towards the very last few minutes of the last degree of Capricorn, approaching his entrance into Aquarius and wrapping up a 15-year transit of the sign of Capricorn that is going to be happening within this next several days as well. Now, Mars, the Sun, and Pluto this weekend are all equally placed throughout the sign of Capricorn. We have Mars at 0 Capricorn. We have Pluto at 30 Capricorn, 29 degrees last degree of Capricorn. And we have the Sun smack dab in the middle at 15 degrees of Capricorn. We also, for this like trifold alignment of equally dispersed, powerful planets in the sign of Capricorn as Pluto prepares to culminate 15 years in the sign of Capricorn, which is a big deal. I was talking about the significance of this in my January overview. We also happen to have a Scorpio moon going on all weekend long. What planets is Scorpio ruled by, you guys? Scorpio is co-ruled. It's a sign that's got co-rulers, 2 rulers. Those 2 rulers happen to be Mars and Pluto. Where are Mars and Pluto? 0 and 29 degrees, the 2 critical degrees of the sign of Capricorn simultaneously. Capricorn is government and authority and structures of power and control and, you know, foundations. It's the framework of our reality. It has to do with career, it has to do with bosses, but it also has to do with governments and big business and financial institutions and stuff like that. And we've got the Sun smack dab in the middle as the midpoint of both of those planets, and the moon in Scorpio, which is throwing it to Mars and Pluto, who are straddling the sign of Capricorn, the 0 degree, like the full range of octaves available in the Capricornian energy, and then Pluto at like the culmination point of that energy. Like, it's bringing up to me things that have transpired throughout the course of Pluto's entire transit through the sign of Capricorn, and it's also hitting on this emotional level because of the moon's placement in Scorpio and both co-rulers of the sign of Scorpio straddling the entire sign of Capricorn as Pluto's about to leave, and as the Sun is acting as the midpoint. And not only is the Sun acting as the midpoint, the moon in Scorpio is on Friday, as this is going on, opposing Jupiter. So this is like gaining some insight, perhaps seeing the truth about some things, or, you know, just a very big like capacity to, it's like X-ray vision sort of, like maybe in regards to things of that Capricornian nature that are coming up with the, you know, Pluto and Mars wedging that entire sign, and then the Sun also, this like ball of illumination acting as the midpoint. And then on Saturday, the moon will move into an opposition with Uranus, which is like the planet of awakening, right? Rules the sign of Aquarius, where Pluto is heading, where all the power and momentum is heading, where we are collectively heading. There is something very powerful and intense about the way that energy is coming together this weekend, even though it might not be like immediately apparent on the surface. There is like this deep emotional and internal compulsion that could be going on and that we could be sort of experiencing to honestly like try to control or overpower something. Clashes of wills, desire for domination could be coming through. And I'm saying this because the way that the sign of Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, which is about control, is being fully encompassed by the scorpionic energy, which is this like raw power. And then there's the Mars warrior archetype, like coming in at the 0 degree, and then the Pluto, like Lord of the underworld, power in all of its forms, at the 30 degree with the sun right in the middle, and then the Jupiterian influence from the Scorpio moon, like intense power struggles with authority could be coming through, you know, breakdown, transformation, change in relation to authority could be sort of like something that we are psychically picking up on, you know, things to do with control systems, rules, regulations, again, like clashes of will. But I do feel like this could be kind of like an internalized destructive force that we're kind of like subconsciously or unconsciously just picking up on or dealing with or trying to you know, like integrate somehow, or that is just like interfering with our ability to like have some type of internalized peace. I mean, Mars Pluto 029 Capricorn, like this kind of is, you know, burn it all down, volatility type of energy, business, career, finance, government, anything that is like overpowering our ability to like assert ourselves or to like be in control of kind of, you know, like our own progress or like our own destiny or like our own path or something like that. Anywhere where like rules or authority are like too overbearing on us and the energy this weekend, like it might really feel heavy, and we may really feel this sense of like pending change, or like something's got to give, or like there's got to be some type of breakthrough, like things can't keep going on like this. And I mean, that's just the general vibe right now. That's where we're at in this cosmic blueprint. We are, you know, Pluto's right about to change signs, and we could be experiencing this energy in terms of, you know, what we're sort of coming up against in our external lives. But I honestly feel like more so with the Scorpio moon this weekend, it's going to be less apparent, it's going to be more subtle, and it's likely to be something that just sort of like feels like tension brewing internally somehow, like this inner need to change our lives, but maybe a strong resistance that we're up against, or, you know, like also this is reminding me of like addiction breaking energy and stuff like that. And the moon Jupiter situation opposition, like this is going to give expanded energy levels. This is going to help us to see the truth in things, especially with the moon in the sign of Scorpio. This is like seeing the deeper truths in things, like seeing things from an elevated perspective that actually helps us to gain like a deeper understanding. And also, despite the like, I don't know, just like the inner turmoil that might be associated with the energy as it's coming together this weekend, the progress that we're making now, like I said earlier, like it's likely to have some type of like beneficial and productive outcome, or like help us with something somehow as we move throughout the course of the rest of the month. This Mars Jupiter window that we're moving towards is like a really, really good time to get things done that are going to have, again, like supported or just successful outcomes somehow. We're also going to have more energy than normal, more confidence than normal, more strength than normal heading into the energy of next week, you know, that supports the successful efforts that this energy indicates. And so if there is something that you need to get done, something that you've been procrastinating, something that you've been putting off, especially if it's like physical or requires like physical effort or like manual labor somehow, or if it's goal oriented, this is when you want to get it done, or at least start thinking about it this weekend and working towards it moving into the energy of next week. I really feel like that's how the energy, like I've been saying, is best served this weekend, is just through channeling maybe like some of the intensity that's coming through. Mars and Pluto, this also gives like an extreme willpower, okay? we can move mountains, I will say that, but people are likely to just be a bit more like reserved and withdrawn and just like focused on what they have going on and like getting things done, which is again the way that we should be. I feel like the way that we should be using the energy moving into this month. There is definitely this change and transformation brewing. We can feel it, right? Likely coming up on these deep psychic levels with the Scorpio moon, causing the internalized sense of tension and anticipation that people might just be like picking up onto. That's another thing, like people are likely to be kind of touchy this weekend. Kind of just maybe again like let people be. This is a very good weekend to mind your own business, like just not get involved in like what other people got going on unless they're like actively seeking your counsel or something like that. Like I was saying earlier, I do just feel sort of like a more destructive vibe to the way things are coming through. People might just be like over it, feel like breaking things. It could manifest as like just a destructive urge or tendency or something. But here's the thing, like with the energy, the Mars, Pluto, Capricorn, Sun, Scorpio moon, like it's not actually about the act of destroying things. If you find people being just sort of like extra ugly or extra destructive or extra combative or extra just like tense or like not caring about stuff this weekend, it's not about like the act of destruction in and of itself. I feel like it's more so about like trying to reclaim power in some type of a way to like play out or control the like pending change and transformation that we're like psychically picking up on is happening, but maybe can't tangibly see in our actual reality. I feel like that's messing with a lot of people, especially with this ongoing Neptune Mercury square that we've got going on. I think that a lot of people are psychically picking up on the energetic shifts that are occurring now and, you know, moving forward through the rest of this year. Definitely, you know, humanity is psychic, and as we move forward in time, especially now that we're, in my opinion, crossing the threshold into these real strong Uranian Aquarian vibes, and we, you know, do start to come back online as a result of the whole galactic center situation, we're sort of feeling that, you know, on a collective level, you know, something's happening, something is different, something's about to change. I can't conceptualize this though. I have no way of describing it. I have no way of necessarily pinpointing one thing and saying, you know, this is it. And so therefore, like psychically, subconsciously, I am going to try to exert control over my environment in order to like play some type of role in these changes that I can feel coming, but I can't consciously, rationally deal with yet. So if you see people kind of conducting themselves this way this weekend, really needing to exert force over something, really needing to like dominate people, places, and situations, that's probably what that is. And listen to the symbolism involved as well. 0 degrees of Capricorn, where Mars is, that Sabian symbol is an Indian chief claiming power from the assembled tribe. And then 29 degrees where Pluto is, that Sabian symbol is a secret meeting of men responsible for world affairs. So when we talk about, you know, where we're at in the grand wheel cycle of time, when we talk about transitioning out of a Capricornian era with Pluto, which is about, you know, big business, big finance, big government, all of that type of stuff, having the power with Pluto there. And then we are transitioning to the age of Aquarius, where Pluto will be empowering the individual. We have the chief reclaiming power. Okay, so this, and it's Mars too. This is the warrior spirit. You know, this is like, this is the youthful soldier, you know what I mean? Like, we are ready to fight for an ability to take back power, control, and dominion over our lives and our experience. And like, people are not going to be willing to tolerate some overbearing authority that is infringing upon their ability to step into destiny at this point in time. Because remember, we have the North Node right now in the sign of Aries, which is also at a very interesting degree right now, which I haven't talked about this week, but I did mention in my January report. the Eris point, a boxer entering the ring. Like when we have a planet at the Eris point, the mask is coming off. Like, it's volatility, it's discord, it's, I mean, the boxer in your ring, right? Like we're primed for some type of contest, fight, battle. The North Node, this is the destiny point in the sign of Aries, ruled by Mars at 0 degrees of Capricorn, with Pluto on the other side of that. Then a Scorpio moon ruled by both Mars and Pluto. The sun is the midpoint. You see what I'm saying? Like, we are taking power back. Like it's destined for the individual to move forward right now, to, you know, activate some level of destiny, to live some higher purpose that is playing a role, microcosm, macrocosm, in our actual transition of ages right now, shift of ages into the age of Aquarius, which is coming online this month. So, you know, it's so, like, it's interesting, even though we don't have like a super lot going on this weekend. This is a good hermit mode weekend. Get things done, you know, focus on the task at hand, but there's likely to just be these kind of like inner struggles that we might be navigating, and maybe just like a sense to just kind of like break things in your fingers or destroy things. And if you are picking up on that energy, you know, we don't want to be a vessel for that, okay? We don't want to be a container for that energy. If you can come up with some productive way to get that energy out, that is probably a good thing. But just, you know, realizing it, acknowledging it, and, you know, understanding the root of it could be helpful. And it could also be helpful to understand that if other people are dealing with that as well. The symbolism, though, is also really crazy. It's giving, with the Jupiter influence, as I mentioned earlier, this is all in the whole Capricorn thing, like, this is giving X-ray vision into corruption within authority, government, big business, finance, all the Capricornian themes that have gone on. Honestly, like, there could be things coming up very much related to like 2008, 2009 that we didn't know were happening, or that we're seeing in a new light, or that we're like finding out something new about, that are very relevant right now, and that are like impacting the way that things are going moving forward for us somehow at this point in time. Remember also, for our solstice energy this year, we had the sun and Mercury cazimi at exactly 0 degrees of Capricorn together, while Pluto was at 29. So this is actually, Mars right now is at the degree where our last sun Mercury cazimi was. That also is like giving the energy of some type of revelation, or some type of, you know, gaining some type of an illumination. We've got the sun as the midpoint, okay? We've got Jupiter in opposition to the moon when we have Mars and, well, the opposition to the moon and Uranus, when we have Mars and Pluto straddling Capricorn with the sun in the midpoint. And then that's the same degree where the Mercury sun cazimi was. Like, something's coming clear, you guys. We're finding something out. It could implicate things that happened as far back as 2008, but power dynamics are definitely about to start shifting. We also do have a Sun square Chiron exactly that is happening this weekend, which is not surprising in the midst of all of this. More financial stuff going on, wealth, worth, those themes. Whenever we've got Chiron implicating stuff, you know, we're also dealing with the sun in the sign of Capricorn. This could also have to do with like big business or something somehow, but could be precious metals and stuff also. Chiron has a lot to do with value, worth, money, finance, and like, but like true value and stuff like that too. So it also, of course, sun squaring Chiron, this could be pressing on our wounds while we're sort of going through maybe this inner turmoil or emotional intensity this weekend. Raw, vulnerable feelings of like weakness or like victimhood, where we've been victimized in the past. Old wounds could be coming up. It's the Scorpio moon, though, this is also a very healing, regenerative energy, and taking back power could be a facet of the healing energy, or the need to heal or overcome something that the sun square Chiron is also representing. Aside though from the Mars, Sun, Pluto, Capricorn, Saturn vibes that we have going on, these very heavy themes present all weekend, The Chiron energy, the Uranus energy, the Jupiter energy are also vibes that are present and growing as we move into the energy of next week. We do have, like I said, the sun squaring Chiron this weekend, but we are going to also have a sun trining Uranus next week, and we are going to have, as I mentioned, Mars trining Jupiter next week. So, healing, yeah, we might be dealing with some, like old wounds and stuff like that coming up, dealing with some weaknesses that we are coming up against that we need to overcome. But there's also this awakening energy coming. There's also this expansion energy coming. Once we make it through this deeper and more emotional, like internalized energy this weekend, which may also be triggering wounds with the Chiron influence, good things are coming, positive things are coming, inspiring, fresh energy, maybe a sense of excitement or maybe some enthusiasm, hope, optimism, faith. These are likely confidence, being restored in the energy that is coming in next week. Don't forget though, we still have this, as I've been talking about, I feel like forever now, Mercury-Neptune square, super relevant also. This is clouding our judgment. This is making things a little bit murky, confusing. We're not seeing things clearly. We could feel overwhelmed as a result of this energy. Reality stranger than fiction, questioning everything, difficulty communicating, messages lost in translation, difficulty staying focused as well, staying on task. We could feel sleepy, we could feel just like brain fog type of vibe going on, indecisive, not sure what's happening, not sure what to do, not sure what to believe. This is all very relevant when we have an ongoing for all of these weeks, and especially, a big portion of that Mercury was retrograde as well, and we've also had the Sun and Mars, these Neptune squares that have been really just disorienting our ability to have a clear view of what's actually happening and what's going on over these past several weeks. We still got that energy going on. I'm still saying I don't feel like this is great energy for choices, decisions, commitments. Double check everything, you guys. Verbal agreements, I would expect very little follow through with that type of stuff. People might act like conversations that went on just literally never happened. Take it easy if you can. This is also an energy that, it can make it hard for us to really stay on task, but we are being assisted by the Capricorn energy with Mars, with the sun, because that does help us to focus and concentrate a bit more. But, hermit mode is good. Be productive, get things done, streamline, organize, and next week starts gearing up for the big show this month. Emphasis also on the warrior spirit, this more youthful masculine energy. I'm expecting to be a very dominant force in 2024. The true Mars warrior, spiritual warrior archetype as we move through 2024. I feel like that's the primary archetypal influence with this North Node Aries that we got going on. Courage, motivation to reclaim power, right? Take back power and initiate change. That's where we're going. That's where we're heading. That's how things are looking this weekend. That's what I have to say, and I'm going to now grab us a synchronicity card and ask for one final piece of guidance or advice. God, Spirit, Universe, what's one last thing that it can benefit us to know this weekend? What do we need to keep in mind? What should we use as a mantra as we are going through whatever we got going on this weekend? What will it benefit us to just sort of keep in the back of our mind? It's so funny, you guys. Our message for today is obstructions removed, which is very much a vibe I've been picking up on, a need to remove the blockage, to make the change, to make the transformation that we feel is pending. That's sort of what I was trying to describe when I was explaining how I feel like people are likely to be kind of trying to force things or take control or break things down or destroy things in this energy to, feel like they're in control of this process of change or transformation that we can feel coming but is blocked or just not happening for some type of reason, or any type of authority or any type of overbearing influence just not standing for it. Our card is saying obstructions removed. So Also, you guys, with all the Jupiter influence and all the Uranian influence and all the North Node influence right now, this really is a higher power rearranging things in such a way that are enabling our growth somehow. This is removing blockages to authentic growth that would hinder the process right now, the cosmic process, our transition into the age of Aquarius. This card says, rest in me, I have gone ahead and removed every stone. God has gone before you and removed every obstacle. Any obstacle you now perceive as a product of your own imagination. Let go and let God lead you. There is no wrong action. There's only right action. Follow the leads which come. So, we're moving forward, you guys. This is going to be a month where there could be some obstructions removed that have been hindering progress or growth for a long period of time. It's going to be very interesting to see how things unfold throughout the course of this month and the rest of this year. 2024 is going to be a big one. That's what I have to say today, you guys. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Share it with your friends if you think that they would be interested in this type of astrology content as well. Leave me comments, you guys. I am very, very grateful for your comments and your feedback. I really appreciate knowing what's going on out there with you guys in the world. If you are having experiences that line up with what I'm talking about in these reports, please let me know in my comment section below. I love you guys so much. If you want to know what's on this whiteboard over here, I have a Facebook group where I post those, and that is, and the synchronicity cards are also posted over there. Jana posts those, and that is in my description box below. And come back with me on Monday, you guys. It's going to start, things are going to start heating up. That's why I keep saying, like a broken record, over and over and over again, like, take it easy, slow down, don't like run head first into the new year, like, dip your toe in, kind of just conserve, hold back a little bit, because this, especially as we get towards the end of this second week, things are just likely to start again, like this electrified atmosphere, very high frequency, fast paced stuff going on, things feeling maybe like a bit out of our control. And this coming up week here, we are building into the Mars-Sun trine that we have going on, and that's going to start our process of increasing energy, and the Sun's going to trine Uranus, which is going to start the process of all the general weirdness we've got going on for the rest of the month. So I'll be here to talk about all of it. You guys, you should be here too. You don't want to miss it, and I will see you next time. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend, and until then, bye guys.